Today I'm not so lonely. I'm here with Keith Weber. Time to take care of my body and put some good stuff in it. I was on the other spectrum of that, Keith. I call it intermittent fattening because I was stuffing my pie hole for 16 hours and then sleeping for 8. And I would even wake up halfway through. So it's not the end of the day when you get an injury. If you look at an injury like, oh, that's the end of the world, I can no longer do anything anymore, then you're just, being a victim. You got to take charge and, rejuvenate that injury. And I know Keith's been...
All right, so the most important safety concern with the get, believe it or not, is just getting the kettlebell into that starting position. A lot of people, they're a little bit too sloppy with it. They end up tweaking their shoulder or their elbow. So make sure you roll over, grab the kettlebell with 2 hands, roll back, and then press it, even though that's light.
One man shit show with the Canadian Grizzly.
What's up, everybody? Well, welcome to the One Man Shit Show. Today I'm not so lonely. I'm here with Keith Weber. He's been, on the podcast previously, and I shouted him out a few episodes back, and we connected. And luckily, I have this world-class kettlebell expert living only an hour away from me out in Red Deer. A couple of Berta boys here. How you doing, Keith?
Really good. Thanks, Russ.
Awesome. Yeah. So we've been warming up. I was showing Keith some powerlifting, how to tune in his bench press. You're not a man unless you can bench press over 225. So we're getting Keith to his man status. And then he's been showing me some kettlebell stuff. We're gonna do an awesome workout here. And he just humiliated me. He just did a Turkish get up with the 88-pound kettlebell like it was nothing. So what I wanna say is, strength comes in different forms, and Keith is an animal in kettlebells. I'm an animal in the, on the platform or whatever, and in the cage or in the ring. But everywhere, there's different strength levels, and you're always willing to learn and learn new things. It's awesome. So, like-minded people is what I want to make the theme of this podcast. Keith is an expert in the field, and all my life I've kind of surrounded myself with freaks of nature that show me things and make me feel like a wimp.
Mindset Minute.
Okay, everybody, Mindset Minute. You've heard enough of my shit, so let's listen to Keith. He's been on this earth longer than me and has way more, knowledge, so I'm gonna take some advice from him, and so should you. Keith?
Well, Russ and I were just talking about how pumped we are about doing this workout together, and just being in a newer environment and hanging out with friends. But 90% of the time training isn't like that. A lot of the times you're by yourself, or you're not feeling it. You're tired, you haven't eaten enough. So remember that, if you miss 90% of your workouts, you'll never have, times like this where you're, really feeling it. So think about those workouts as a way to build up to these peak moments in life.
Awesome, Keith. Yeah, I must admit, I'm a little nervous. We haven't done the workout yet, and we've just been going over some basics, and I'm already kind of half shit in my pants, but I love this too. I'm kind of excited. It's a humbling experience, and so you're putting yourself in these situations. But what makes it easier is when you have awesome people around you. So if you're kind of feeling alone out there on those workouts some days, get a friend, or try to be part of a gym that really pushes you. Awesome.
Fuel Up. Sponsored by Magnum Supplements.
All right, fuel up. Well, I just want to talk today about Magnum's fasted cardio. I've been dropping some weight the last, year, and what I've been doing it with is intermittent fasting. And what that means is you stop stuffing your cake hole for about 16 hours a day, and then 8 hours you have a feeding window. It just stops you from eating, for no reason. And I was on the other spectrum of that, Keith. I call it intermittent fattening because I was stuffing my pie hole for 16 hours and then sleeping for 8. And I would even wake up halfway through the night and eat some fucking food because I was a pig. But I could lift some heavy shit. But fasted cardio is awesome because it helps me get through the hangry parts of the day. I haven't even eaten yet today, so I've had a few Rice Krispie squares just to fuel the workout. But it's amazing, and what I find is, a lot of pre-workouts, some guys just love having that sketchy, methed out feeling. I don't. I mean, I'm in my 40s now. time to take care of my body and put some good stuff in it. And fast cardio, take 2 scoops, feel amazing, have endless energy, and that's all I wanted to say. All right, so Keith and I know how to party. We just popped about 20 pills, and we're gonna fuel this workout here. We got the DNA, we got the volume, and the main brain stack. Let's see how it holds up to Keith's workout.
Awesome sauce. Celebrate the awesomeness.
Okay, everybody, so awesome sauce. What I want to do is talk about the new bantamweight champion, female, Juliana Pena, and she just came off a performance that was almost impossible, beating Amanda Nunes, who is by far the most dominant female fighter to this date. But she showed some grit and heart, and in the fight just didn't, let Nunes dominate her and started teeing off. Eventually, knocked her to the ground, put in some suspicious submission that she tapped out on pretty easily, but I think she was just done. And that was amazing. But what I wanted to say is that, Pena was in a very serious injury. I read up on it. She was sparring some douche canoe in a gym that thought he was a tough guy. He was gonna, give her a hard time and put all his weight on her when he was in some sort of modified reverse, rear naked choke or whatever it was. And she blew out her entire knee. And we're talking MCL, LCL. Keith's a physiotherapist. He probably knows all those things. I'm kind of just a meathead. But completely had to have it reconstructed. Probably thought everything was career ending. And no, she's back. She's the champ. And so that's pretty awesome. Like coming back from that, like 0 to being a champion. For myself, I've blown up my ACL, had some knee stuff going on. Went on to go to Japan and fight and also powerlift and win some trophies and some championships. So it's not the end of the day when you get an injury. If you look at an injury like, oh, that's the end of the world, I can no longer do anything anymore, then you're just, being a victim. You got to take charge and, rejuvenate that injury. And I know Keith's been through a big one. Keith?
Yeah, I had a major knee surgery a little over a year ago, and where they actually had to break my leg and change the angle of it and then put a big metal plate with a cadaver bone in it. And so I couldn't put weight on my leg for nearly 3.5 months to let that bone graft take. And, it just was really a tough one to come back from. But it's taught me a lot of things I might not have learned if it didn't happen. I'm learning new things. I want to expand my horizons athletically, because there's certain things I can't do anymore, like run marathons. So maybe I want to get really strong.
I think, yeah. And we're going to challenge Keith. We're going to set maybe a 3-month challenge to get Keith to 2 pies on a bench and maybe 4 pies on a deadlift. I think that'll happen quicker. But yeah, so always be challenging yourself, and don't let injuries be, the end of your career, the end of your life. If you let them be, they will be. A douche!
Top secret information. Technique Geek.
Okay guys, Technique Geek. Well, the time has come to get my ass kicked, and I know you're all looking forward to that. So yeah, we're gonna go over a few movements. Keith, number 1, the first one is gonna be a Turkish get up.
Yep.
And then 2, we're gonna do a windmill. And then 3, an overhead squat. So what are these used for, Keith?
I think of all of the kettlebell exercises, these are probably the ones that you get the most bang for your buck. For shoulder mobility, core, flexibility, everything, all around strength.
Nice, yeah.
They're the hardest ones.
Definitely,
yeah.
And I'm gonna throw in a little segment of Keith doing these after, or he can show us, but he can lift way more than me, and I'm obviously a little larger than him. So yeah, technique is key here. Okay, so for all my grapplers out there, look familiar? On the ground, attacker, oh shit. I'm gonna flop up, get up. Same movement as Turkish get up.
The get up is all about technique. So if I can stack my joints like in yoga, it's way easier. And then it's all about just keeping that center of mass above my joints. All right, so the most important safety concern with the get-up, believe it or not, is just getting the kettlebell into that starting position. A lot of people, they're a little bit too sloppy with it. They end up tweaking their shoulder or their elbow. So make sure you roll over, grab the kettlebell with 2 hands, roll back, and then press it. Even though that's light for you, just get into the habit of doing that.
Okay.
So start with that.
Good. All right, so here, 2 hands.
There, yes.
And
good.
I'm gonna use both
press
to
it.
press. Boom.
Now the key is this leg's gotta be straight to start with. Okay. Yes, sorry, that leg. And then that hand's 90 degrees to the body, palm down.
Okay.
And then get just like this. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and get tight, and then get up on that elbow first. Hand. Now get the hips up in the air, and bring that left knee back to the left hand. Hike this hip up nice and high. Yes, good. Good, now get that leg set so that you can have lots of power and stand up. Good, okay, now it's left foot back. Knee down, now get this butt out. Get this butt out so you don't have to reach so far to the ground. Good, good hinge. Swing that left leg forwards. Hip down, elbow down, and slowly roll back down. Perfect, good.
Now that's not easy.
Let's try that with the left hand.
Oh boy.
And you said
Lefty's actually easier. Okay, so same technique.
same yeah, just for safety.
2 hand this bad boy, boom. Press.
Good. Now that leg goes straight. Good. And tight and elbow. Hand, hip. Knee back to the hand. Good. And stand up. Good. Okay, foot back. Knee down. Now get that hip, hinge that hip.
Booty pop.
Booty pop.
Booty pop.
Good. Leg forwards.
Oh God, Keith, how dare you? Oh. All right, gassed out already, sorry Keith.
Okay, so now we're gonna do the windmill. So I want you to clean the kettlebell with your left hand. Press it. Good. Now I want you to get your feet so they're parallel. Bring that left foot in. Yes. Get that hip out first. Get that hip way out like you're hinging back the hip. Look up the kettlebell. Good. Good. And then come all the way up. Walk out the top. Let's do 2 more like that. Deep breath in. Abs tight. Coming down. This hip is going back. You're hinging. Just like a Romanian deadlift. Good. One more. One more. Go down. Good. Lots of stability there. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna do the overhead squat. So same as the windmill, clean the kettlebell with your right hand.
Okay.
Press it. Now go a little bit wider with your stance than you normally would. Feet outwards, almost like a sumo stance. Get this arm out here. Just lock it in just like a bench press.
Yeah.
There, abs tight. Sit back with your hips. Nice, good. Okay, 2 more like that. Good, lots of tension at the bottom. And 1 more, just a tiny bit deeper, because I know you can do it. Just a little bit. Excellent. Good.
Wow. All right, buddy, so we're about, I don't even know, halfway, midway, quarter way, and I'm dying up in here. Yeah, these kettlebells are no joke, and you know, conditioning, wow, it's like a whole level of different cardio, even harder than grappling really, so no joke.
Here's where we have to dig in. Good work.
You finished it. Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the one-man shit show. And for me, it was definitely a shit show today. I tapped out quicker than, you know, who knows, the guy like Amanda Nunez last night. And because, you know, this shit is no joke. And I'm glad I had, you know, Sandy come in. I can't believe her. She's barely even sweating, and she got through that. Keith is an absolute animal, and we did make a promise, you know, 3 months time, I'm gonna be able to smash this workout with them and have some sort of abs forming on my front bumper here. Keith?
I'm gonna be pressing 2 pies and no longer a weakling.
Sandy's just gonna remain kicking ass and getting on posters and just being awesome. So thanks for tuning in. What I wanna say is, you know, this shit wasn't that easy for me, it was hard. Steering through the difficult things. That's what makes you stronger in life. So take that in mind and tune in next week.